Hi everybody, welcome to yet another video. This one is concentrating on the air caps of the DV1 series, or the large DV1, because they've brought out a small smart repair gun now. So it's the DV1 base and the DV1 clear. Now you can get, for the base coat, you can get a B cap and a B plus cap. Most people seem to have the B plus cap, which is what I think originally came out with it, although there was always scheduled to be another cap, which has now come out. So you can get the B and the B plus. The difference being that the B plus, which isn't the subject of this video, the B plus is more like a Trans-Tech, like the conventional Trans-Tech. It says HVLP, but it's less of a HVLP than the B. The B is true HVLP. Now you'll see when we finish the spraying with the B, I just hold the cap up to the lens and you can see the size of the holes. They're absolutely huge. So that brings me to another gripe with all these guns, with the DV1s over the Pro Lights, and that's that they all seem to use more air, despite the fact that the manufacturers say they use less air. I really can't see it. I don't see where they get their figures from at all, because certainly from what I've been using, they use more air. All of them seem to use more air than the equivalent in the GTI Pro Light range. So that might be something you want to think about if you're using them at home. So this is the B cap without the plus, which is supposed to be 14.1 CFM. Now I really can't see it using that much. It uses, in my opinion, more than HB30, which was supposed to use something like 16.4 CFM, and this seems to use more. I mean, when I hold it up to the camera, you see the size of the holes. They're absolutely huge. So what does it perform like? It performs really well. I personally prefer the B plus cap, and that's, I think, because I use solvent. Now I'm spraying solvent here, and you'll see that it puts it on pretty well. I'm using a 1.2 tick, and I think I probably should have gone 1.3. Another thing I'm not finding is that with Devilbiss say that you go down one tick from what you usually used in the GTI Pro Light, and I'm not finding that at all. I find that 1.2 in the DV series is the same as 1.2 in the GTI or the Pro Light series, or Techno Pro Light as they say in the States. So I'm not finding that at all. I'm going now over to what I used to, and I normally use a 1.2 for base, but with this cap I think probably a 1.3, just to put a little bit more on there really. It puts it on well. My suspicion is that it will work really well with water-based paints or waterborne paints. I've got some waterborne paint these days. I've got a couple. Well, I've got 3 colours now. I have done a video of the first time using it just to see what it was like, which I'll obviously run through when I put the video up. But that's what I suspect. I suspect a lot of these HVLP ones actually work better for waterborne paints. They put out quite a lot of air, and it seems like the waterborne paints to me need more atomisation, and I think that's what it will be ideal for. But you can see it gives a really good finish with this solvent base coat. So there's nothing to, there's nothing to gripe about here. The only thing is, as I say, is the amount of air it uses. If you're, a relatively small workshop, you're going to struggle, especially if you're using an air-fed mask as well. You're going to struggle with these things because they just consume so much. But it is what it is. It does seem to transfer more, and you'll notice that there seems to be very little overspray, which means that it is really well. But, and there is a but as well, it didn't seem to use any less material. So, you would think you would put more material on, less in the air means that you'll use less, but it didn't seem to. Maybe if I was doing a bigger area, this is only, this is like a 5-gallon motorcycle tank, so it's not, as the side of the car or something, is it? So maybe you would notice it then, but I certainly didn't seem to notice any difference. But again, I think maybe you would do with waterborne. I don't know. That's what I think these are aimed at. I think this B cap is more aimed at waterborne paints rather than solvent paints. So, as I say, it performed really, really well. I keep saying it uses loads of air, and there are the holes. I mean, they're massive. You could camp in that. If you were stuck one night, you could get in there and camp. You know, it's that big. So, you know, hats off. Good gun, good finish, but does it really need to use that much air? To give you an idea, the old T10 cap, which, you know, we used to use for base coat in the GTI Pro Lights and Pro Lights, etc., or Techno Pro Lights, was 9.7 CFM compared to this, which they say is 14, but I reckon it's more like 17, 18, to be honest. But you know, it's nearly twice as much. And do you need it? I don't think you do. You know, it's okay. It's to comply with legislation, I guess. So you know, maybe you do need it, but certainly for the small guy or the guy at home doing, especially motorcycle stuff, because you can use solvent-based paint in motorcycle stuff legally. I really can't see the need for it, but you know, it's there if you should want it. So the other reason for making this video is this cap, which is the C2 cap. Now this again uses, I thought I had a bit of a drip there, but it turned out not to be anything, because you don't want to have any drips if you're using clear coat, because obviously it can muck up the final finish. So yeah, C2 cap, supposed to use 11.3 CFM. I think it uses more than that, because the old T20 used 12.2 and this seems to use more. So, you know, I can't see that it's using less than the old T20. Anyway, enough of that. It's definitely using less than the B cap. What's it like to use? Well, it's actually really, really nice. It's if you've got a DV1 and you're finding that it's slow and dry, if that makes sense, it's giving you a dry finish and it's quite slow, this should cure your problem, because it's a wetter pattern. It's a slightly smaller, a bit wider, but more material, much more material is coming out. So it means that you can go much faster, which is, you know, as I say, if you want it to go faster, it's a superb cap for that. So I think it will actually, you know, because this is turning into a bit of a gun that people either love or hate. I personally like the other cap as well, the C1 cap. Uses slightly less air, gives a really nice finish, really flat finish. I suppose this is more equivalent to the T20, the other one's more equivalent to the T110, because this puts out more, enables you to copy more various peel effects, whichever you want, but it's actually quite fast. So for the guy, you know, in a busy shop or whatever, then this would probably be ideal. Gives a really good finish, can be really flat. I've got nothing to mimic here, so I just put it on the best I can. That's the final finish. The paint, by the way, is called Whiz Purple Rain. It's a single stage, or double stage if you include the top coat, but it's a single stage paint and it looks really, really nice. The way the light catches it, it changes from dark purple to bright purple. Anyway guys, I hope you've learned something and enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, all the subscriptions, the likes, comments, etc. Much appreciated. Cheers guys.